Yes, y'all. Lucha Underground is back. I ain't even wasting no damn time. You know exactly what this is. You know what I'm here. You know who I am. You know what I do. It's Derek J407, aka Best Heel Ever, and I am here to review the season 2 premiere of Lucha Underground. Once upon a time, there was a little speculation as to whether we would see this or not. Lucha Underground came, took the world by storm. Everyone was loving it. But then, out of nowhere, season finale had to come, and it went away. We didn't know if it was coming back or not. But, luckily, eventually, we found out it was coming back. We found out it was coming back in January. The countdown began, and finally, on January 27th, it came back. And I am glad it's back. Now, I had to, do a little bit of underground tactics myself in order to get it, because here in New York, I don't have El Rey Network. Back in Columbus, I do. But here in New York, I do not. But, oh well, But, yeah, I didn't review Lucha Underground enough. I reviewed the last Ultima Lucha, but I was, a little busy, reviewing Raw every week. Now, this don't mean I'm going to stop watching Raw, because I'm going to keep watching Raw. It's, that's just the thing of it. But I am now going to try to review Lucha Underground weekly. I might not get to it every single week, but, it's going to be, how I don't review Raw anymore that much, except for earlier this week. But Lucha Underground, I'm going to try to review this as much as I fucking can, because I just love it. I love Lucha Underground. I'm so excited it was back. I was tweeting about it, the 2 days before, the day before, the day of, and, the whole show, I just loved every well, not every second of it, but majority of it, I was a big fan of it. Yeah, and I said, earlier in the week when I was reviewing the Royal Rumble, as good as the Rumble was, the automatic show of the week is going to be the season premiere of Lucha Underground. I don't know if I can really call it the best show of the week, and if you can hear music and noises and shit in the background, pardon that, there's stuff going on outside my apartment hallway here, but just focus on my voice, focus on what I'm talking to you about, because this is about Lucha Underground. So let's get right into it. They started off with a shot of just think of this background noise, if you can hear it. If you can't, I'm just talking about nothing, but if you can hear that, just think of this as background noise, But yeah, the show kicked off with showing Ian Hodgkinson, aka Vampiro. He was in some kind of mental institute, basically, and this was graduation day, pretty much. This is I guess we just skipped over all the months he was in there, but yeah, this is his basically graduation day to see if he's in the right state of mind to be released or not. And there was sitting on one side of the table across the table, there was the doctor or whatever asking him all these questions, and every time he would answer, you could see flashbacks into his past, basically, talking about how are you doing, and how are you feeling, and have you had any thoughts of violence. And we would cut to him in that Cerro Miedo match against Pentagon Jr., and all the fire and the light tubes and thumbtacks and all that shit, and the blood, all that stuff would just pop in his brain. And it looked like he was about to be released, but then out of nowhere, he gets up, he attacks the doctor. Some of the big strong nurses come in and try to stop him, but he beats all them down too. He's bashing the doctor's head into the table, but it was just inner thoughts, and he was released. And outside waiting for him was Matt Stryker, and got in the car on their way back to the temple. Matt Stryker told him it is now a much darker place, and that was proved to be the wiser, because then we go to the intro, and then we go to the temple, And backstage is Katrina in the office that was once Dario Cueto's, but is now apparently Katrina, because now that she has Mil Muertes, Lucha Underground champion, and of course the Disciples of Death, I believe they're called. They're the trios champions, so her and Mil Muertes, they run the show. She was backstage, and in came in Phoenix, who has the Gift of the Gods Championship, which is his money in the bank. Basically entitled him to get a title shot whenever he wants. And Katrina said he can get that title match next week if he can survive this week, because he'll be defending that championship right now against King Cuerno. And that was our first match back, King Cuerno versus Phoenix for the Gift of the Gods title. Can't say every single thing that happened in this match. Just know this was a damn good match. It was chaotic. It was fast paced. It was lucha libre style wrestling here. A lot of back and forth action here. The finish, though, shocked the hell out of me. I did not see it coming. I did not expect, what's his name, Phoenix to lose his Gift of the Gods title. I figured, they would want to pick back up on the rivalry between Mil Muertes and Phoenix. They had probably the best rivalry in Lucha Underground last year. They had their Grave Consequences match, which was one of the best matches of the year. In my opinion, they had that Last Man Standing match, I believe it was. They had some really good moments last year, so I thought, maybe we could, build to something else between the two of them. But nope. Phoenix lost the title here to King Cuerno, and he did. It was a pile driver, but it was like a tombstone, but not really, because he kind of spun with, like, he had his body in position of the tombstone, but he spun his body and then slammed it down the ground. So that was an interesting move. King Cuerno is the new holder of the Gift of the Gods title. But later on backstage, he was getting dressed and ready to leave, but Katrina popped up, and she told him, "Don't forget our deal." And he told her that she has nothing to worry about, and neither does Mil. And she was gone, and that was the end of it. So I don't know. Must be some kind of alliance here. So I don't know where that's going. He has the title now. He can get a title shot whenever he wants. But I don't know. She's talking about a deal. That's worth looking into. So after the title match, they show the arrival of the former trios champions, I should say, Son of Havoc, Angelico, and Ibeliz. They arrived, and then they made their way into the office. I guess we can call it Katrina's office now. She was talking to them, saying and telling them that Mil wants. They wanted, a shot at the trios titles, but she said that Mil wants them to fight each other. And they were like, we just spent all of last year trying to finally get on the same page, and now you want us to fight? Hell no. But she was like, but winner gets a title match tonight. And they just looked at each other like, okay. So they all were in agreement. And before they left, Ibeliz told Katrina that once I get the title, I'm coming after you. So that got my heterosexual, inner 13-year-old horny, sex-crazed teenage mind all excited about what could the possibility. It got further provoked later on, but first off, we have the triple threat. So I guess, the commentators, that being Matt Striker and Vampiro, they don't see these backstage segments because when, Katrina came out, she whispered something in Maria Santos' ear and basically told her that the match was on. And Striker and Vamp, they were surprised when all three competitors came out. First came out Son of Havoc, and then Angelico, and then they just put two and two together, and out came Ibeliz. This was a really fun triple threat match, even with the inclusion of Ibeliz. Now, as far as the intergender matches that we get on this show, you get what you get with it. I'm not against this kind of stuff, like multi-person. Like if they want to do this narrative of the women are just as tough as the men, and they want to do these intergender matches, doing multi-man matches like this. That's why I didn't have a problem with the Get to the Gods match back at Ultimate Lucha. Because Sexy Star was in there, but she was in there with 6 other people, so it didn't really matter. When it's a one-on-one match, I kind of, don't really like it, but I mean, it'll be alright. I have a problem if the woman wins, and that's not being sexist. I just, certain people, like, there was a match between Sexy Star and Pentagon Jr. last year, and Sexy Star pinned him. It's like, Pentagon is not someone who should be getting pinned that much, and especially not getting pinned by no damn woman. But this match, a man did get pinned by a woman because Ivelisse won. Like I said, it was a fun match, a fun triple threat. But in the end, Ivelisse, Son of Havoc was going up to the top rope. He gave a front suplex. He front suplexed Angelico off the top rope onto the ground, so he's on the mat. Son of Havoc gets up to the top rope. Ivelisse has been on the ground outside the ring at this point, so she gets up and she, sweeps his legs out and, crotch shot. She gets in the ring, gets a cradle on Angelico, gets the victory, and she wins this triple threat, and she is the #1 contender for the Lucha Underground Championship. Did I mention that Mil Muertes, this whole show, at least, before his title match, he had, like, almost a throne up top. Like, it's hard to describe how this temple is set up, but there was a section of the temple where there was a platform, and on it was Mil Muertes sitting on a throne basically the whole time, just watching. There's only 2 matches before the title match, so those 2 matches, he was just sitting up there the whole time watching the action. And he stood up, go to commercial, and then we come back, and it's time for the title match, And this is what I kind of have a problem with, as far as the intergender match. If it's, you want to play the story of, the underdog taking on the bigger, stronger challenge, but this little skinny woman here taking on this big motherfucker. Now, Mil Muertes, he's one big dude. He ain't that tall. He's about 6'1", 6'2", something like that. So he's not that tall, but he's a thick dude. He's like Rusev. He's just big. And, but compared to Ivelisse, he's even that much bigger. But Ivelisse, Son of Havoc and Angelico were out there. Katrina came out there to be in Mil's corner. But then out of nowhere, the Disciples of Death, I keep wanting to call them the Disciples of Apocalypse, like the DOA back in 1997, 1998 on Raw. Just one of the most god-awful, boring tags. Like the DOA and Los Boricuas, that time period was just, oh my gosh, that was so boring. It's like, it's these factions I don't care. And then when you would see DX, like, piss on their motorcycles, it's like, yes, fucking awesome, because I don't care about these people. But anyway, the Disciples of Death, they came right the fuck out of nowhere and attacked Angelico and Son of Havoc. Katrina, she pushed Ivelisse into Mil, and he was just holding her back, so she was forced to watch this 3-on-2 assault, and they carried him off. The Disciples, they carried them off. They carried off Angelico and Son of Havoc away from the arena, probably dumped their bodies outside the temple or something like that, locked them out. I don't know what happened, but we ain't seeing the rest of the show. So poor Ivelisse had to go at it alone against Mil Muertes for the Lucha Underground Championship. In this match, it was what you would expect it to be. We've seen, the small challenger taking on the big champion before. And in this case, it was just happened to be a woman. She threw punches. She gave it her all, but it just wasn't working. She had a few spots in there. Sometimes she tried to get a sleeper on him. That didn't work. She tried to get a triangle choke on him. That didn't work. She at one point did hit a tornado DDT. Got a near fall out of it, That was a big high spot. The bigger high spot came when Katrina got in the ring. She stood, she got in the ring, and Evil East, was, going off on her, threatened to attack her. And then Mill got up. He was going for a spear on Evil East, but she moved out the way. He ended up spearing Katrina, and then Evil East rolled him up. Now, I don't read spoilers. Like, all these shows have been taped. I haven't read a single fucking one of them. So, she's rolling him up. I'm thinking, holy shit, they're about to put the belt on fucking Evil East. Oh my god. But it was just a near fall. I'm like, whew. Had a fucking heart attack. Thought I was about to lose my shit. I did not lose my shit until the end of the show. But, yeah, it was for nothing. He hit it with the flatliner, and that was it for poor Evil East. Katrina got in the ring. She draped over Evil East's body. It looked like she was about to give her the lick of death. It was like, oh, come on. But then she threw her head down, and you could hear the crowd boo. And I was booing too. It's like, my horny, perverted 13-year-old sex-crazed boy mind took over again. It's like, yes, let's see that lick. And it's like, nah. It's like, damn it. But nah, she called for Mill to lay her out again, and he was about to, but then Prince Puma came out, super kicked Mill, and carried Evil East out and got her to safety. And I was excited just to see Prince Puma again, because I'm a big Prince Puma fan, so I'm like, okay, that's really cool, He came out there, so I guess this feud's going to continue. But then we got the start of another feud, because lo and behold, right behind Mil Muertes in the ring, because he's, now facing Puma, and Puma, he escaped the ring and went up the steps, and Mil Muertes is on this side, but all the way back here, on the other side of the ring, behind him, was Pentagon Jr., so I get Prince Puma, Mil Muertes, and Pentagon Jr. on the first show of this new season. He came out, he gave Mill a backbreaker. They cut to Vampiro on commentary. He looked shocked. He didn't have any words for this. So Matt Stryker just took over commentary for the last part of this. But Pentagon got him in the position. I was so ready for it, man. I was going crazy for this. You have no idea, man. I was going so fucking crazy for this. He got him in the position, and he yanked that arm back, broke Mil Muertes' arm. It's like Lucha Underground champion just got his arm broken by Pentagon Jr. And he gave the Cero Miedo sign. What is it, like 0 fear, something like that? I don't know. But yeah, he broke his arm, and that was that. Then after this, they cut to somewhere. Black Lotus, some 3 dudes were looking for the temple. Dario Cueto was there. He let them. They weren't even at the temple. They were like at some other building, like warehouse or something like that. They opened the door. These 3 random dudes walk in. They're like, "Who's fighting tonight?" And Dario's like, "Oh, you." Close the door. We don't see what happens, but you gotta assume Matanza was in there, which is my assumption. So yeah, welcome back, Lucha Underground. I'm still getting over the thought of Pentagon Jr. versus Mil Muertes. That's a feud I gotta see. But I'm sure Mil's gonna sell the broken arm for a while. But yes, great first show back. First show of the new season. Like I said, I'm gonna try to review this every single week. I'm gonna try. It's gonna be hard because I'm a busy man, but I'm gonna try to review it as much as possible. And shows like this, fucking thank you for coming back in my life, Lucha Underground. Thank you. So, I'll see y'all later.